Hello, YouTube. Guess who forgot to start recording again? It's your boy. Um, yeah, it was me. So, I recently been looking at view accounts and stuff like that, and I realised that the more stuff I had on the screen, the less my viewers sort of interacted. So I decided to go back down to basics when I was getting the most viewers, but I didn't have very many followers. And I've taken away everything. Essentially, what you see across the bottom of the screen here and my face, that is it. It's just those two things. I'm trying to keep up with chat and all my overlays and stuff like that on my phone. We'll see how that goes. Because I've got both of them on at the same time. I don't know if my battery's going to hold out. So let's use this as a learning experience. Sorry, burpees. So we're going to be talking about and demonstrating the art. Also, my hair. I put too much product in. I put too much product in today and it looks rubbish. We're going to demonstrating the art of finishing a song. Finishing a song is difficult. It's really difficult. Why is it difficult? Well, it's a combination of things, really. It's a combination of not really knowing how to finish a song, not really knowing when to finish a song, and not actually being able to identify when a song is close to being finished. So how do we sort of get around this? Well, in other areas of like creation, whatever that may be, you use goals that are set by your experience of the industry. For example, you're making a aeroplane. Making an aeroplane. Okay? What is the purpose of an aeroplane? The purpose of an aeroplane is to fly, to carry stuff, and to be able to take off and land safely. Okay? If one of those three things cannot be achieved, you haven't got a plane. Because if it can't fly, it's not a plane. If it doesn't carry stuff, then nobody can pilot it, therefore not a plane. If it doesn't, or it won't be able to carry the stuff to continue to be a plane. If it can't take off or land safely, then you may have a plane, but you've got a dangerous plane. So those three things. If you're building a plane, you want it to fly, be able to carry stuff, be able to take off and land safely. Once you have achieved those things, you have a plane. Now, it's up to you then to decide whether or not you're finished. Do you want to test it? Do you want to test it? Do you want to make it look pretty? Do you want to make it better than all the other planes on the market? And this, whether or not you do that, is about your experience when it comes to making planes. So the less experience you have in making planes, the less likely you are to want to do any of the extra stuff. If you have zero experience in making planes, then the fact that you've made a plane is great. It's good. You finished it. That's great. But if you have quite a lot of experience in making planes, then just finishing it isn't the end goal. You want to test it. You want to see how much it can carry. Can it carry any more? Can it carry just people? Can it carry cargo? How fast does it go? Does it get everyone to where they want to be on time? What are the other planes on the market like? Are they better than your plane? Are they worse than your plane? So this applies to songwriting as well. So when you're writing songs, if you haven't got much experience in writing songs, then just having an instrument recorded or having an instrument part written, along with a vocal part, where you have a beginning, middle, and end of a song, that's enough. That is enough. You've got a song. It's finished. the more you write songs, the more you end up being like, okay, so now we're going to how effective is my song at conveying what it needs to do? How good does it sound? What is it like compared to other songs on the market? Does it borrow too much from them? Does it borrow too little from them? So so that's what we're going to talk about today. So I've got a lot of experience in writing songs. So when it comes to writing songs, I absolutely will be all about, right, how this song is written compare to how other songs on the market are written. Am I doing anything different? Am I pushing myself creatively? When it comes to recording songs, I have less experience. So I'm going, right, okay, so it doesn't really matter if the recording is the best on the market, or is doing anything different or interesting. As long as it's recorded and recorded to a high enough standard, I'll be happy. And then when it comes to like mixing and mastering, I have very little experience in that. So as long as I have mixed it and mastered it and not made the song worse, I'll be happy. So I'm going to present to you how I sort my finished versus unfinished songs out on an album. And what we'll just bring the screen up. We'll just bring the screen up. Okay, so this is my album order screen. You're getting a lot of free info here, by the way, because I have not released this details to a lot of people. So if you're watching the stream, well done. You're in on the game. So this is the album order. These are the songs that I plan to be on the album. Now, finishing an album is kind of I want to say it's kind of the same as finishing a song, but it's not. And for me, because I haven't finished many albums, therefore haven't released many albums. In other words, for me, as long as I have a set of over a certain number of songs that fit together cohesively, that sort of serve to provide an auditory experience, then I'm happy. My note to record was down here, which I didn't follow. So up here you have we've got our track listing. Now you can see that these are color coded. This is how I'm trying this out. I don't know if it works yet, but I'm trying this out to see if this will help with me finishing an album. So the ones in your default blue color are ones that have that aren't finished yet, that I feel aren't finished yet. The ones that are in orange are the ones that I feel I've finished, but need final mixing or mastering. And the green ones are the ones that I've finished. They've had their final mixing or mastering, and I'm not going to touch them anymore. That's the most important thing. I have set myself a boundary that these ones in green over here, I'm not touching anymore. That is kind of the hardest thing as a creator, because you're always like analyzing yourself and you're always going, "Ooh, I could have done this better. I could have done that better." It's all right. Even songs that are released by the world's top artists, when those artists listen back to them, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I could have done that better. I could have absolutely done that better." So yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little look through, and I'm gonna try and get closer to finishing some of these songs. I'm gonna try and start off with the more simple ones. None of these, I don't think, have any bits that I need re-recording on. apart from this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code this red. Because this is not only not finished, this needs improvement. This absolutely needs some improvement. And I think so does this one. Because there's in both of these, there's either a chording or a lyric that I don't like. I'm going to change this to a yellow color. Make this a yellow. They're such gross colors. Okay. And cool. Cool. So let's start off with this one, The Great Arcade. Great Arcade is a song that I wrote about my dad's death, and it's a song about how, well, to be honest, it's a pretty selfish song because it's going, hey, my dad's dead. How has that affected me? And essentially it's just made me more scared of death, or made me consider death a lot more. And that's what the song's about. So let's listen. We'll listen once through all the way.
They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me. 'Cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust, and I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over, like paparazzi at a red carpet debut.
And then we've got these sort of glitchy 18-bit drums going on. This is called The Great Arcade, so let's do some arcade type music.
I didn't cry on the day that you died, and I've shed very few tears since.
Love the bass line, it's so awesome.
Does that mean I didn't love you as much as I thought? Or is it just one of those things? I'm terrified of the day that I too have pizza. Look up my name on a list. Eternity is an awful long time. There are people back on earth that I'll miss.
That little piano bit.
It scares the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
Guitar bit is really weird. I think it'll sound good. It's really
God-fearing man, and welcome the day that I died. That I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky.
I love that lyric.
That I'd find peace in my heavenly feast with the man in whom my image was made. But I'd rather sit tight like a deer in headlights, like a rose is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke.
Another lyric I'm very proud of.
I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
And that piano bit keeps going on. Lovely. Okay, so let's go into that track. Where is it? Let's go into that track and let's have a look at the whole thing. So, did that sound finished? Like, from a writing point of view, did it sound like I was done? So to you guys, yeah, it probably did sound pretty much done. Maybe there's one or two things that you would have added or not. But when you're the person who's made the track, it sounds far from done. And that's okay. You're always going to think of more things you can do to it. So the important thing to do is to set yourself these boundaries of just going, right, okay, I'm not going to do anything else. So what do we definitely know we need to do? We need to re-record this first bit. Do I have the lyrics? I think I have the lyrics on my phone, which is fine. Which is fine. So let me pull those up. That's my shopping list. Save. There we are. So I'm tempted to re-record all of the vocals because this is a different day.
They say the dead.
They say that, I don't know, maybe I'll record the first couple of verses. So let's do that.
They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me. 'Cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust, and I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told that and been told that. Let's re-record this bit. Been told that as you get older, greet you on the day you pass over, like paparazzi at a at a red carpet debut. Okay. I wonder if I can re-record that entire section. Let's mute this one. They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me. 'Cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust, and I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over, like paparazzi at a red carpet debut. That felt nice and clean. Let's listen back to it. They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me. 'Cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust, and I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life
Hey
who
DS,
will.
sorry, I didn't see you join in there. I'm having to. I decided to basically I decided to go back to basics with my layout because I was getting I was getting more click throughs to the stream with a more sparse layout. So I'm currently using my phone to both do chat and do the OBS at the same time. But yeah, I kind of am in a zone at the moment. Yeah, it's really good. How are you doing, man? How are you? It's good to see you. Of course it's good to see you. How's the streams been going? How's work been going? And how's the old project been keeping you? Let's listen back to this.
They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me.
An interesting stream, did you?
'Cause I'll commit
Tell me
a
more.
million sins
Interesting in a good way?
before I turn to dust,
I hope it's interesting in a good way.
I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over, like
next month you're going to be busy.
at a red carpet debut.
Well, at least you're able to be busy. I'm much more happy with this tape, by the way. Much better. Okay, so now that I've recorded that, is the track a lot more close to where I want it to be as a finished piece of art? Yeah, it is a lot more. Would I say it is finished? No, but I also kind of have to put a pin in this. Like, I would do this forever if I could. So I'm going to say, in terms of recording and writing this track is done. So we're going to change it from red. Going to change it from red to a yellow. Okay, so now it's just mixing and mastering this deal. DS says, yeah, in a good way. I did a cover Africa Toto, but what's about? Oh yeah, you were saying that. Don't tell me how it went. Don't tell me how it went because I want to watch that. So I'm going to go to your VODs. I'm going to go to your VODs and have a look at that. Like I was planning to be on the stream for that. Life keeps getting in the way though. But I'm 100% at some point soon gonna look at your WODs. It was long, what as in the stream or the song? Because you know me, I'm a fan of a long song. Like I'm such a fan of a long song that I would 6 hour stream, dude. That's fine. That's fine, man. Like I listen like on a daily, I listen to podcasts that are like 3 hours long, which is why our show on a Thursday is 3 hours long. It's cool. Like that's the beauty of VODs is that I can skip through it if I need to. Song shy of 5 minutes, the golden time. The golden time. Unless you're Eurovision, in which case, if it's Eurovision, way too long. Representing Scotland, David Shaw. Okay, so what else do we need to do to this track? So we talked about these bits here. We need to EQ some stuff out. So this is where like I said, I need to make sure I put a pin in how much more development this track is going to do. So development wise, I'm saying it's done. I'm saying it's done, and I have to stick to that now. I have to stick to it. Otherwise, I will just keep adding stuff to it, and so will you. So okay, so let's EQ some stuff out. Let's start off with the drums. Now this is going to be difficult because these drums are very digital. So I'm tempted to just carve out some space for the drums. So for those of you who are unaware, carving out space just basically means, actually, let's use this as an example. Is this cool? Okay, so let's bring up an EQ. Okay, so this is your EQ analyzer. Down here you have all your low frequencies. Up here you have your high frequencies, and this is represented by a fuzzy line on the screen.
Yes, the bones right out of my skin to know each day that
Now this is just my kick. This is just my kick drum, which is why it's. If we were to do one for the vocals, if we were to do one for the vocals, it'd be much more all over the place.
yes, the bones right out of my skin.
So, yeah, so this is just the kick drum, and we're going to do it for all the different drum bits that we have. So the way to think about EQ is like, my favorite example is if you have like a tropical cocktail, yeah, that involves basically just different tropical, like just tropical juice and Malibu. Malibu, for those of you who don't know, is an alcoholic drink which is coconut flavored rum, and it's delicious. So tropical juice and Malibu. Now, both tropical juice and Malibu have coconut flavoring, which means that your cocktail is going to have lots of coconut flavor, and you might want that, but you might not. If you don't want all that coconut flavor, you're going to have to either find a way to remove that coconut flavor, change the tropical juice so that it's one with less of a coconut flavor, or change your alcohol so that's less of a coconut flavor. But either way, you've got to try and mold that flavor to your taste buds. And it's the same with EQ. You're molding the instead of flavor, it's frequencies to your ears. And flavor and frequencies are I think are the best analogy for it, because I think that a flavor is a load of different parts of your tongue or your different tastes being activated to give you an overall taste. So let's say you were to eat an apple, you've got some acidity, you've got sweetness, you've got the apple flavoring, which in itself is going to be a variation of a few different sweetnesses. You've got texture, which is not so much to do with this, but you can taste when something tastes like apple. In the same way, you can hear when something sounds like what you want it to sound like. Okay? So we can if you think of accentuating different parts on this line here or taking them down, we are increasing or decreasing the flavor, if you will, of this sound. So if we listen to this sound on its own, yeah, you can hear it. And let's play with the flavor. Let's play with the sound. We're taking this high end. Now this is the same sound. The same sound, but you're just changing the way it sounds. Let's bring it down. Let's cut out this bit. Now notice that down here it's very difficult to hear any difference, and that's because your brain, your hearing, finds it difficult to hear stuff up this end and down this end. But it still adds to the sound itself, so don't necessarily always cut those out. So when I talk about carving out space for the sound, in this song, every single instrument uses some of the frequency along this line. Every single instrument does. May not even register on this little graph here, but it has some of it. If you have too much stuff in your song in one area, then it'll sound strange. It'll sound weird. If it's around this area, it'll sound like muddy, like the sound is struggling to get through. If it's up this end, it'll sound tinny, like it's coming through a telephone. So we're trying to balance that to make the sound that we want. And a really good way of doing that is this graph can give you a good idea of what sort of frequencies this uses. So if we go back to this here, we can see that it's using this area here, absolutely, and a little bit of this area here. You can't see very much of a peak anywhere else, but if I was to increase the frequency there, look, you can see that there is in fact sound there. Like, this won't increase. Like, think of this as multiplication. Like, if there was zero sound there, then it wouldn't increase anything because there wouldn't be any sound there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the highs here. A lot of people call this a low pass filter because it's allowing the lows to pass through. I like to call it a high cut because I think that the lows were passing through anyway. It's the highs that I'm cutting. That's just the way I like to think about it, and I get confused otherwise. I still get confused all the time. And for those of you who absolutely know all of this, I'm sorry I'm going through it. I am still quite new in doing this, so I'm saying it out loud to kind of remind myself of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. So I'm going to drag this. I need to unsolo this. So I would say that it's best to listen to all your sounds in context. And what that means is listen to them all together. It's very rarely that you will need to run for work. Catch up with you soon. Let me know what you think about the VOD when you get there. Thank you very much, DS. It's a pleasure to have you drop in, and we'll see you soon. Stay safe, mate. I don't know what this was, but it was there. Okay, so those of you who know what I'm talking about, this is just a refresher, really, isn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna just
As the bones grind out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling.
now let's solo this again, just to give you an example. If I cut all of this, just to be like, right, this is the only bit of frequency it needs. Listen to it. That may look, we're using the same bit of frequency that we thought we had before. Yeah? But if I turn that EQ off, it's different. It sounds so different. Let's get rid of it. So I think I'm going to cut that much. Do I want to accentuate anything? Actually, yeah. On this kick, on these drums in general, I'm going to put a sub bass on it, but I don't want to do that right now, because I think that the reason I do that is because the nature of this drum kit sound at the moment, it's very tinny in itself, so I want to boost those lows. Okay, so I'm just going to carve out the sound for these two. Do I do this every single time that I come to mix a track? No, absolutely not. Every single track is different, and you're going to need to do different things to the track when you mix it. Sometimes you're gonna want to just do cut out all the what we call is all the unnecessary frequencies. Sometimes you do want to just cut out all those unnecessary frequencies, but sometimes you want to do something very interesting, and you want to not necessarily cut it out, but accentuate stuff. So, for example, let's play this.
Yes, the bones right out of my skin.
It's the same thing here.
Each day that I am shuffling on.
And then we're going to accentuate these.
Closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
That might be the sound we want. It isn't in this case, but it might be. One thing you need to remember to do is always A and B. When I say A and B, that means to listen to one version and then listen to what it sounded like before you did anything. It gives it context, but it also allows you to remind yourself what it sounded like before. Did it sound better before? It might have. So let's listen with and without context. Let's A and B this.
Yes, the bones
Always close your eyes.
Out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on.
So there was almost no difference there that I could hear, and that's good for me. For this particular thing that I am doing, that's good, because all I wanted to do is cut out those unnecessary frequencies. Okay? I didn't actually want it to sound different. I just wanted to set myself up so that later on the track would be fine. Okay, so there's not really using any toms. They are using they are using a snare. A lot of snare. So I always forget to turn the analyzer off when I'm doing these. Why do you want to do that? Because it takes up a lot of processing power in your computer. Like, it takes up so much processing power to be constantly analyzing stuff. And if you don't have it open, it's just wasted. Okay, let's look at this snare.
Yes, the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on.
I'm gonna cut out a little bit of those.
Closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
Anything we don't
Yes, the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on. Closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
I like this. Okay, so if you find something, so this is a method of sort of just finding frequencies that you might want to cut or enhance. This is what you do to sort of. This is what you do at the beginning, where you don't really know what you're doing, like me. Where if you don't know really what you're wanting to cut or lower, then it's best not to do this, because then you're just enhancing for the sake of enhancing. If this is best if you know that there's a frequency somewhere that you want to cut, and you need to find that frequency and get rid of it by dragging it down. So I'm gonna heed my own advice here. I'm gonna heed my own advice, and I'm not gonna enhance anything. And especially early on, when you enhance a frequency, you need to remember that you've put more of that in. So later, to balance things out, you might want to take some of it out of something else. Let's look at the snare bottom. Now, I know that there's a frequency in here that I will want to enhance. It's because I like the sound of that frequency. On normal drums. I haven't done it on these drums yet. So let's listen.
Yes, the bones right out of my skin.
I forgot to A&B.
Each day that I am shuffling on.
I'm well aware that I forgot to A&B.
Yes, the bones right out of my skin. To know each day that I am
Kind of see the
shuffling
frequency I'm
on.
looking for down here occasionally.
Closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave. To the day that I'm just.
And the frequency that I'm looking for is the sound of the metal coils on the bottom of the snare. So that's what I'm looking for to enhance. So it's usually around here. Come on.
Yes, the bones right out of my skin. To know each day that I am shuffling on. Closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave. To the day that I'm just up and gone.
So notice I found the frequency, and then I dragged it down till you couldn't hear it anymore. The reason why is because it's still there. I'm still enhancing it by, what is it? By 20 decibels? No, 5 decibels. 5 decibels is a lot. It will affect the mix. It is absolutely going to affect the mix, especially further on down the line when I start adding stuff to frequencies later on. So we just take it down till we can't hear anymore. You might be thinking, what's the point? But as things go on, it will affect the mix. So let's listen, A and B it.
Yes, the bones right out of my skin. To know each day that I am shuffling on. Closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave.
It's very subtle. But the sound with the EQ on is just slightly more up in the high end. You can hear it. Okay. So we've got our snares done. Then I tend to just do the overheads, because unless there's like a particular section in the song that uses a lot of toms, I know that there isn't in here. So I'm just gonna do the overheads. Now the overheads already have an EQ on them that were done by not me, that were done by default. So I'm gonna set it straight again, set it to flat, and let's listen.
Yes, the bones right out of my skin. To know each day that I am shuffling on. Closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave. To the day that I'm just up and gone.
Okay, so let's bring this down. Anything want to cut? I know that most of my guitars are going to take up this sort of area between the 200 and 1K. So I'm gonna boost the high end so the cymbals can be enunciated. Enunciated? Not the word. Let's A and B it.
the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
Cool. I think that sounds pretty cool. Okay. So we're gonna, what do we EQ next? Well, we work our way up from the lowest toned instrument to the highest. So the next thing would be the bass. And we've already got a bass patch on there. I don't want it. I want to set it to nothing. So let's play it from here where the bass starts. Okay, first off, have we got sub bass going? We do. Okay, so I'm going to boost. What's sub bass doing? Let's just increase the ratio a little bit.
I didn't cry on the day that you died, and I've shed very few tears since. Does that mean I didn't love you as much as I thought, or is it just one of those things? I'm terrified.
Okay, so all I've done is I've just boosted it a little bit more. Okay, so what we're going to do with this? Well, we're going to take a lot of high end down.
I didn't cry on the
Not
day
too much,
that
because
you died.
there's a sound that I'm going to cut a little bit of the low off because we're bass boosting. There's a sound that I really like on the bass, which is I play bass with the plectrum. I know, shoot me. Why did I say that? I sounded really lame saying that. Okay, so I play bass with the plectrum. And the plectrum sound is the reason why I play it with the plectrum is because I like the sharp plucking noise of playing with the plectrum. So we're going to find that. I think it's around 1 to 2K. Let's see if we can find it.
Does that mean I didn't love you as much as I thought, or is it just one of those things? I'm terrified of the day that I too have to look up my name on a list. Eternity is an awful long time. There are people back on Earth that I'll miss.
It's boosted a little bit there.
I didn't cry on
Now, we
the
know
day
that
you died,
guitars
and I've
are
shed
going to
very
take up
few
this.
tears
I'm
since.
just going to lower everything just a little
Does
bit.
that mean I didn't love you as much as I thought?
Actually,
Or is it just one of those things?
What we've done here now is just carved out just a tiny little bit of space. If you do that enough, then nothing's gonna ruin your mix. Okay, let's A and B it.
I didn't cry on the day that you died, and I've shed very few tears since. Does that mean I didn't love you as much as I thought, or is it just one of those things? I'm terrified of the day that I too have to look up my name on a list. Eternity is an awful long time. There are people back on Earth that I'll miss. It scares the bones right of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave to the.
Okay. Right. So the next bit is the rhythm. Let's check this out. Okay. So again, we've got a built-in patch here that we're going to go back to 0 on. Just going to move my mic. Okay. This is the weird guitar. You can hear that this is struggling to get through. So either we need to carve out some of the frequency to let it get through, or we need to boost it somewhere. Now, guitars are mainly about cutting frequencies. So let's try and cut some stuff.
God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died, that I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky.
Because that way it just cuts through a little bit more. Just cuts through a tad more. And it's muddy down here, so I'm going to cut these.
God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died, that I couldn't wait for my. God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, you know what I did? I left the EQs on for all the stuff that I've just EQ'd, because I am an idiot, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Getting kind of sleepy. Okay, right, now I need clean guitar. We're gonna do it from probably from here because this is probably the loudest bit and the bit that has most stuff in it. Except it doesn't have a clean guitar, dum-dum. Oh yeah, it does. Right. So what's going on here? Has an EQ. Let's turn that off. That has an EQ. That has an EQ. Turn that off. Do all these cleans have an EQ already? Let's turn all these EQs off. What happens if we just play without an EQ?
You think that as a...
Cool. And we're going to do probably one EQ for the whole thing. But I can't do that. I need to do it for each individual one. Okay. So this will be the volume. Okay.
You think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died. That I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky. That I'd find peace in my heavenly feast with the man in whom my image was made. But I'd rather sit tight like a deer in headlights, like a rose is still under the parade. You think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died. That I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky. That I'd find peace in my heavenly feast with the man in whom my image was made. But I'd rather sit tight.
So listen to the wow 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 that we just EQ'd. We EQ'd that before this one. Listen to when I cut out this signal that we know that guitar's using, how much more it comes through. So there's basically, if you look at this one, there's basically nothing coming through on this. We boosted that signal on the other guitar. Now listen, as I drop this one, how you could hear the other guitar start to come through.
You think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died. That I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky. That I'd find peace in my heavenly feast.
Okay, let's A and B that.
You think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died. That I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky. That I'd find peace in my heavenly feast with the man in whom my image was made. But I'd rather sit tight like a deer in headlights, like a rose is still under the parade. And after so
Okay.
you think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died.
I'm gonna cut this slightly
That
less.
I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky. That I
Okay. Add that. Okay. Let's have a look at all the others. Does this sound okay? One moment. Okay. Just double checking. I am unmuted. Excellent. Okay, so let's see how this sounds. That EQ sounds here. It sounds fuller. It sounds better.
They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me.
Sounds good.
'Cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust, and I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over, like paparazzi at a red carpet debut.
That line sounds so much better now I re-recorded it. Let's listen to it again.
Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over, like paparazzi at a red carpet.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we've EQ'd clean guitar. Do we need to do anything else to that? I don't think so. So lead. Do we have any lead? No, we don't, but we do have this synth here. So let's do the EQ for the synth. This piano-y boy. And it's here that you really hear it. Hold on, wrong bit. This is basically a boost one.
God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died, that I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky, that I'd find peace in my head to sit tight like a deer in headlights, like a rose is still under the parade.
So it's on this particular bar.
Rose is still under the parade. And after Rose is still under the parade. And after Rose is still under the parade. And after deer in headlights, like a rose is still under the parade. Deer in headlights, like a rose is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one.
Okay, so there's a frequency there I don't like. Like a buzz. Let's find it.
Fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. Fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. Fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. Fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. Fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. Fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. Fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. Fibers begin is the part where the...
It might just be a volume issue, so let's check. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, that'd be it. So if I... How do I select all of the ones on that note? Cool.
People back on Earth that I'll miss. It scares the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that I'll be forced to.
That might be right. Yeah, it's way too high. Way too high again. Vocals. Okay.
They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me. 'Cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust, and I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told they say the dead watch down on us, but
This is
I
about
don't think
boosting now.
that their eyes are
We've done loads of cutting.
'cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust. And
What I'm
I
definitely
don't
going to do
think
is
the
put an
angels
exciter on the main. Okay, cool. I think I've already done it, actually. I have.
They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me. 'Cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust. And I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over.
Okay, I'm not entirely happy with the way I pronounce will. So I'm going to use a pitch corrector on that. Is it cheating? No. Now, we need to flex this, don't we? Yep. And polyphonic. I'm just going to Google pitch flexing. Yeah. How do I... I don't want a video. Interesting. Okay. Flex button, main window. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Choose flex pitch. Aha, gotcha. Cool. Right. Then what? It was right. Where was it? No. I swear it was in the first page of results. Can I go to my history? Oh, it's because I'm. That's why I was googling flex time. Flex pitch. Okay. It was. There we are. This one. Very thin blue lines. Okay, wait. Okay, so why isn't Fletch Pitch actually a thing in
here? They say the people from your life who will.
There we go. We actually want lead vocal 1. Why is that doing this? Analyze audio flex editing. Cool. Oh, it's analyzing everything. Okay, this one, please. Cool, yay. Okay.
Well.
Let's zoom in on that, shall we? There you go. Just a tiny amount.
They say the dead watch down on us, but I don't think that their eyes are on me. 'Cause I'll commit a million sins before I too turn to dust, and I don't think the angels want you to see. Been told.
Been told.
Been told. Been told that. Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over.
Uh-oh, what have I done? What have I done?
Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer of the people from your life who will.
One sec.
Been told that as you get older, the
I need to do my parking.
Been told that as you get older, the list gets longer. Gets gets gets
Yes.
gets 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 longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over, like paparazzi at a red carpet debut.
Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's turn off the flags.
Gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass over.
And let's just hide those.
Gets longer of the people from your life who will greet you on the day you pass. I did.
Okay, we're gonna need to do some on that as well. Now, what I've actually done there is I've made it more out of tune. I've deliberately made it more out of tune. Just because I like the vocal break there.
I didn't cry on the day that you died, and I've shed very few tears since.
Yeah.
I didn't cry.
Whoops. Let's recall the default of this.
I didn't cry on the day that you died, and I've shed very few tears since. Does that mean I didn't love you as much as I thought, or is it just one of those things? I'm terrified. I didn't cry on the day that you died, and I've shed very few tears since. Does that mean I didn't love you as much as I thought, or is it just one of those things?
Okay with that. I'm disconnected from the chat. Sorry about that, guys. Oh. I didn't cry on the day that you died.
I didn't cry on the day that you died, and I've shed very few tears since. Does that mean I didn't love you as much as I thought, or is it just one of those things? I'm terrified of the day that I too have pizza. Look up my name on a list. Eternity is an awful long time. There are people back on earth that I'll miss. It scares the bones right out.
Okay, so this backing vocal absolutely needs something undone to it.
People back on earth that I'll miss. It scares the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone. People back on earth that I'll miss. It scares the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that
I just had a thought. If I'm boosting one, dropping the other, I should do it the other way around for this.
People back on earth that I'll miss. It scares the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
Nice. I'm good at harmonies, man. I'm good at harmonies. Like I didn't realise until the other day, when I was watching a video about what you should and shouldn't do when going to the studio. One of them was talking about how you should have all your harmonies written down, and that the only way that you could get away with not having your harmonies written down is if you had somebody who was just gifted at being able to come up with harmonies on the spot. And I was like, oh, I find it very easy to come up with harmonies on the spot. Now, don't get me wrong, my harmonies sometimes fucking suck. My harmonies are sometimes awful. But for the most part, like, I could come up with an alternative harmony for this right now. So what we got? At the moment it's "I'll be forced to leave till the day that I'm just up and gone." So this is the current harmony.
It scares the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
Except it's an octave higher. I could come up with a new one right now.
It scares the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
So yeah, easy for me to just come up with a new harmony. So I that made me feel so good about myself. Do you know how I did it? So when I was younger, and I'm talking like 16 or 17, every Sunday, me and my parents and my sister would go to church, and on the way there we would listen to what my sister and I wanted to listen to, and on the way back we'd listen to what Mum and Dad wanted to listen to. So on the way there we were listening to like Taking Back Sunday and the Veracruz and who else listened to at the time? Delirious. And me and my sister, all we would do in the back is just practice harmonies. Like every Sunday for 20 minutes, just all we were doing is just practicing what harmonies would work and what wouldn't. My favourite harmony to try and make work was the single note harmony. And that is literally just taking the root note and just trying to sing that root note while everything else goes around it. I wonder if I can do it to this.
It scares the bones right out of my skin to know each day that I am shuffling on, closer to the day that I'll be forced to leave, to the day that I'm just up and gone.
That might not have been the root note, that might have been a fifth or a third. But just one note, like, that was my favorite one to try and make work. Just one note the entire time. I'm going to listen back to that and see if that actually works, because I'm pretty sure it did. But okay, what are we doing? We've done this backing, haven't we? Done this one, definitely done. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do this one.
You think that as a God-fearing,
it's a lot of high end here.
You think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died, that I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky, that I'd find peace in my heavenly feast with the man in whom my image was made.
Cool. A and B it.
You think that as a God-fearing man, you think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died, that I couldn't wait.
Now we've still got that guitar that's like struggling to come through here, so I'm going to cut a load of the 1 to 2K to let that guitar through a bit more.
You think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died, that
I think I might just need to suck it up and just turn that guitar up. Let's just turn it up a little bit.
You think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died, that I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade.
Now, if we've EQ'd this properly, us turning up that guitar shouldn't affect anything else, because we've sorted out the frequencies around it. Let's go for this backing. Just so I know where to go to in the video. 1 hour and 47. So it'll be an hour and 40. Okay. Oh, what have I done here? Clicked on compressor, haven't I? Oh dear.
You think that as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died, that I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky, that I'd find peace in my heavenly feast with the man in whom my image was made. But I'd rather sit tight like a deer in headlights, like a rose is still under the parade.
And you know your boy forgot to turn off the analyzer. So let's do that now. Okay.
Rose is still under the parade.
Turn down the high end.
And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
Let's listen to that again. A and B it.
roses still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
Let's see if... should we see if a one-note harmony works on that as well?
This is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter...
Not that note. And after so many years, you think... After so...
This is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road.
No, that wouldn't work. Would any harmony work on this bit?
This is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
Let's try that. That sounds
Alright, actually. Ooh, sorry guys.
Gonna mute this just for echo.
Here in headlines, like a rose is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
I'm gonna do that again, but I'm gonna turn myself down a little bit more. Or am I? I'm just gonna turn this bit down.
Here in headlines, like a rose is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms.
Bum that note.
Here in headlines, like a rose is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven...
I fucked up the lyrics. They say that heaven... Okay. They say that heaven is a place...
Here in headlines, like a rose is still under the parade. And And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere could be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
That sounded pretty good. Let's listen back.
This is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay. This is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
Okay, let's put a compressor on that.
This is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in
Oh, I just realised there's a better harmony. Matter the length of the rope, part where the last one broke. That's what I need to do.
in headlines like a rose is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
That felt much better.
This is still under the parade. And after so many years, you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road, the part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in. This is still under the parade.
Let's loop this bit here.
So many years, you think I would come to terms with how no many years, you think I would come to terms with how many years you think I would come to terms, with how many years you think I would come to terms, with how many years you think I would come to terms.
I need to make that longer because it's just constantly triggering itself.
So many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. How many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. How many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. How many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. How many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. How many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. How many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. How many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. How many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. The part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that heaven is a place that nowhere can be, but I'm a sinner that just wants to stay.
Nice. Okay, so that is pretty much done. Now there's a load more that I could do to this. I'm sure there's a load more that I could do to this. Hold on, let's just get the last bit. Let's get the loudest bit.
That as a God-fearing man, I'd welcome the day that I died. That I couldn't wait for my works to translate to tokens for the great arcade in the sky. That I find peace in my heaven.
Oh, it's still clipping. Needs to go down by 0.3.
In the sky. That I find peace in my heavenly feast with the man in whom my image was made. But I'd rather sit tight like a deer in headlights, like a rose is still under the parade. And after so many years you think I would come to terms with how no matter the length of the road. The part where all of the fibers begin is the part where the last one broke. I'm sorry there's no comfort in our future me, but it's a panic that won't go away. Say that.
Okay. So save. And then we what we need to do now is we've mixed it. We need to master it and stuff like that. But how do I know that I'm done with the track? That's what this whole thing's about. Well, I could still add stuff to it. I could tweak this forever. But I can't tweak this forever. Let's sorry, my thing was playing up. Screw it, what am I on? Okay, cool. Oh. It's got some lag going on. Ah! I haven't touched it. What's going on? What do you want to do? What do you want to do, computer? What do you want to do? Do you want to go like this? Is that what you want? Okay, let's do that. Yeah, so how do I know I'm done? I could tweak this forever, and but that's exactly the reason why I need to say that something is finished eventually. Even when it's not finished, sometimes it's time to say it is. Because you could tweak this forever. And probably the most important reason to try and at least say something is done is because a lot of the time these songs hold a very personal meaning to you. This song is about my dad dying. This is an incredibly personal song to me and about my own struggles with death. So why do I not want to make a song like that perfect? Of course I want to make a song like that perfect. We all want to make a song like that perfect. But you're never going to. There will always be something. Like, think about going to the gym. Think about going to the gym and your own body image. There's stuff about your body which you probably don't like. I don't like my gut. And I look back in pictures and I see myself very skinny, and I wish that I was back in that sort of shape. But I didn't like my gut back then either. We are always striving to be better, which is an awesome thing, and it's part of what makes the human race so incredible, is that we're never satisfied. But it's also our downfall, because it means that times like this, when we want to finish something, but it's not perfect yet, we just need to say, okay, it's finished. It's finished. So there we are. So how do you finish stuff? You kind of won't. How do you finish stuff? You set yourself goals. You set yourself very basic goals, based on how much experience you have in the subject. You set yourself the goal of is it fit for purpose? Does it do some more complex stuff that I want it to do? Does it hold together? Okay. At that point, at any stage in the thing, you can say it's finished. It's just dependent on whether you want to. And like I said, it's dealing with very personal issues, and sometimes you've got to let those issues go. And sometimes that means stop working on the song and just release it. Because this is how we get haunted, man. This is how you get haunted by your own creativity. It's how you get haunted by your own work. Okay, guys, so we're going to end the stream there, speaking of finishing. If you would like to contact me, feel free to, about anything that's been talked about today, feel free to hit me up on any of these down the bottom. Over on this side, we have the Twitch channel that you should be currently watching. However, if you're on YouTube, then that's how you watch us live. If you go there, you can watch us live. My music, wherever you listen to your music, you will find it. If you just type in Lawrence Hobbs, that's my name. If you'd like to watch more of the videos, YouTube is down there again, Lawrence Hobbs, and some of my older stuff is there, including the backups of the Why Can't I Do Music Good show on Thursdays, and my Instagram, which is probably the best place to just talk to me. That's the best place to just have a chat. So if you want to do that, please do that there. There will be no show tomorrow because I have got to take my girlfriend to get her tattoo done, which is going to be Sick. She's getting a chocobo, which is very cool. And Wednesday there will not be a show either because Theo and I are meeting to discuss business stuff. Seeing as we can now meet in person, we thought we'd sacrifice a stream to talk about business. But fear not, because on Thursday is the best show of the week. Why Can't I Do Music Good is still happening this Thursday. What is Why Can't I Do Music Good, I hear you cry. It is a talk show where Theo and I talk about music, making music, why we're bad at making music, and what we're trying to do about it. And it's fun, and we take the piss out of each other, and we take the piss out of musicians, and we build other musicians up, and we talk about the good points and bad points of different songs, and we bring songs to the table to roast, and we bring songs to the table to just analyze and be in awe of because they're such great songs. You can prepare yourself for that by going and checking out the Spotify playlist that we have put up called Why Can't I Do Music Good? Songs We Can't Get Enough Of. It's on Spotify. If you listen to that playlist, you can get caught up with all the songs that we've recommended in the past. And it goes in order. I think it goes in order of the higher up the list, the older the song is. So the first ones you listen to should be the oldest ones. I might change that in the future, but I think I will change that. I'll change that right now. But if I don't see you on Thursday, I might see you next week. I'm starting to gear up to going back to work full time, so the streams are going to take a beating. It might be that the only stream we do in a week is Why Can't I Do Music, but I'll try and make sure that doesn't happen. But other than that, thank you very much for joining me, and without further ado, goodbye.